I don't take polls seriously. I haven't taken a poll seriously since Donald Trump won the presidency the first time. But I came across this and I thought it interesting enough to share with the rest of you.
Democratic socialism is no longer just a polling phenomenon. It is in the real world. We are seeing actual candidates winning primaries. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about this. DSA or DSA endorsed congressional candidates currently in Congress. There is just 1, 2. Now we're talking about 4 times as many, 8 candidates who have won 2026 primaries, and 7 of those are favorites to win in the fall, win in the general election. So the Democratic Socialists of America's ranks in Congress, they are definitely growing, getting larger.
All right, so where are these wins happening? Is there a specific area, or what are you seeing with the numbers?
Yeah, okay, you might just say, oh, this is just a phenomenon in the Northeast. This is part of the Acela corridor. This is just an urban phenomenon. No, not really. I mean, take a look here. Where DSA candidates won primaries for Congress, they're all Democrats. Yeah, you got 3 in New York, but you got 2 in Michigan. You got 1 in Colorado. You got 1 in Florida last night running for the Senate, and you got 1 in Pennsylvania. So this is not just a Northeast phenomenon in terms of these DSA candidates who are winning primaries. Yes, they are primarily in urban areas, but they are happening across the map, from the Northeast to the Midwest to the Mountain West, and then last night down in the South in Florida. So this is happening across the political map. We are seeing these DSA candidates winning in Democratic primaries. As I said, they are becoming a larger part of the Democratic primary, not just in the polling data, but actual people casting their ballots, casting their votes for these DSA candidates.
Give us some idea what the percentages are here of the wins versus the loss, because there are more DSA candidates out there, it appears.
Yeah, okay. So the thing that I will note is, even though the DSA is growing to be a larger part of the Democratic Party, right, they are not the majority of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is still primarily non-DSA members. You could see it here. DSA endorsed congressional candidates won their primaries. Yes, we have 8, but look at this. At least 17 have lost their primaries. So they're batting about 33%, right? Or a little bit there, which is pretty good for a baseball hitter, right? But not particularly good in terms of actually becoming a majority of the party. So yes, the DSA is growing. It is becoming a larger phenomenon, but it is not yet one that has taken over the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is still full of traditional Democrats, not those who are coming in and trying to implement DSA ideology.
Right, and you have to note, this is the primary. This is not the general election yet.
This is not the general election,
Yeah.
And I know Angie Nixon had a good night last night, but she is an underdog in Florida. She is the one of the 8 who have won who is most likely not going to win in the general election. The test of whether the DSA holds in a general election, that is one that we haven't really quite tested.
They aren't the majority of the party, even though they're running around here as if they are taking over the party. They haven't done that yet. And I think they could be a lot further if they didn't have incompetent people going around on Fox News being a representative for them. People who cannot articulately explain the policies. People who cannot show us that they understand political history in this country, understand political policy in this country. Yeah, I think they would be a lot further along, because believe it or not, there are a lot of us who agree with a lot of the policies that the DSA talk about. But they've got some issues they have to deal with. Their anti-blackness, their attacks on black people and black voters and black candidates, yeah, they continue to do that. That organization will not succeed. And they can ignore that all they want to. But the facts are the facts. Shout out to Angie Nixon. I support Angie Nixon. You down in Florida, get down there and vote for Angie Nixon. Okay? And take this time to check your voter registration. Make sure you're still active. Make sure that the people who are in charge haven't done no hinky shit with your voter registration, especially if you are in a red state. Okay? Okay.